Incredibles 2 is one of those sequels I didn't know I wanted to see. Oh, don't get me wrong, like everyone, I wanted an Incredibles sequel. But after so many years of waiting, I kinda wanted to see the family a little grown up. Maybe the parents are even older, Violet's going to college, Dash is going to high school, Jack enters kindergarten while also discovering his powers and whether or not he should use them. Like, this is some really interesting stuff. Like I always try to tell myself though, I should focus more on what the movie is rather than what it isn't. And Incredibles 2 is a really great superhero sequel. It starts literally where the last film left off, with a supervillain attacking the city and the Incredibles going to try to stop him. Unfortunately, I guess like the old days, they cause more destruction than they stop. And they don't even get the villain, and the villain never even comes back in the movie. I love that. Sometimes the bad guy wins and you just gotta deal. The family is bummed because it looks like they have to go back to not using their powers and going in hiding again, but an eccentric pair of millionaire siblings see possibility in them. They want to rebrand superheroes and try to make them open to the public again, not have to hide. It looks like Elastigirl may be the best one to win the public over, and so she's sent on a bunch of missions while Mr. Incredible has to stay home with the kids. Things get even tougher though when a hypnotizing villain named the Screenslaver, God I love that name, starts taking over people's minds and vows to destroy our superheroes. Okay, so from hearing this plot you might think there's a lot of repeat. Honestly, when I heard this with the story, I kinda got angry. I can't believe we're doing just kind of a Mr. Mom thing here. But what the movie does, which I really felt the first film was missing, is it focuses more on the family as a group. Yes, there's another parent that's gone a lot, but it really shows all the different dilemmas and problems that are going on in each family member's life. In the first film, with the exception of Mr. Incredible, everyone just had very generic problems. They were just trying to fit in and be unique. Any other details, like trying to get a boyfriend's attention or trying to avoid the teacher, were just kind of done in one little scene. Here, they really go into the problem of their everyday lives, and they all have to work together to get through it. Even if one of those problems is dealing with a family member not being there. But even then, they know the importance and they try to be supportive, and we don't go through that scene where somebody just cracks and yells at the other saying, oh, man's role, woman's role. No, they all just kind of do their thing. It's tough, but they find a way. And thankfully, it isn't just a good family drama, it's a good superhero movie too. Some of these action sequences are amazing. The scene where Elastigirl has to chase down this train while also having this bike that can split apart and she stretches with it, it's just so beautifully done. And speaking of beautiful, the film looks beautiful. I remember the first movie having this kind of idea that all the color would be sucked out because all the color is sucked out of their lives, but here, there is so much color, and it pops off the screen. I think because there has been so many years away, it did allow them to learn how to make the images even more striking. And we also get more of Frozone, and we also get more of these new superheroes, and oh god, this is just really good. It's just a solid, good movie that does exactly what it's supposed to do and more. There is, however, one problem with the film that the first one did a lot better, and that's the villain. Can you guess what the problem is? It's the same problem with pretty much every Disney movie now. It's kept a secret. So there's a big twist that's not really a twist at all. Everybody could see it coming, but it's supposed to be like this big reveal. And it's usually just a boring character with a really overcomplicated backstory that nobody cares about. I guess to the first one's credit, there was a little bit of a surprise revealing the villain too, but it happens halfway, and the villain was big and funny and over the top, and he seemed like a comic book villain. This one seems like a modern Disney villain. We don't even really get the cool gadgets or gears that we associate with superhero villains. It's just kind of this person that's angry, puts out this big diabolical scheme, and is instantly forgettable. I feel like so many of these Disney movies now are trying to add this sympathetic backstory, but because it's always done as a twist near the end, we can't really get to sympathize with the villain because we don't even know what the villain is up to or who the villain is until the end. So yeah, that part sucked, and it is a shame that it's such a big part, the villain. But honestly, the things that are supposed to be really great about it, the unique element of family being a bunch of superheroes, is really focused on. And they balance out wonderfully. I can be just as invested in Elastigirl trying to stop a bad guy as Jack fighting a raccoon in the backyard. Both are incredibly creative, amazingly animated, and work because we really like these characters. I usually hate babies in movies. They always bring the movie to a standstill, but this is a funny baby. Everyone constantly trying to figure out what his powers are while he's trying to figure out what his powers are but can't talk. He's just a baby, but he can turn to this giant and set on fire. It's just great. This is one of the few Disney sequels I actually like more than the first one. I like it because it doesn't mostly focus on Mr. Incredible. It feels like everybody gets equal screen time. Every time it cut to a different character, there was never a part of me that said, oh no, we're focusing on this person, I can't stand this character. No, I love them all. And I love them all together. I love seeing how they work off of their different powers, different personalities, it just all works. Sure, I wish the villain was a lot better, but everything else is so good, I can easily overlook it. Incredibles 2 is an incredible sequel, so go check it out if you haven't already.